To be living elemental is to be living a more balanced life. I'm your host, Sarah Ann, and the founder of Jade Scott Design. Through my interior design studio and feng shui practice, I awaken clients to the idea that their home is just as essential to their well-being as is to their mind and bodies. Essentially, nature's elements create balance and support, and through the lens of home, we can utilize their power when applied intentionally. Through this podcast, it is my intention to open you up to the idea that by living elemental through mind, body, and spirit will have a significant impact on your home and your life. Welcome to bonus episode number 4, the fire element. Fire is next in the supportive elemental cycle following wood. And as a reminder, make sure to go back and listen to bonus episodes 2 and 3, in which we explored both the water and wood elements already. So the fire element is the climactic point. The sun, which is our primary source of fire energy for our planet, is associated to this element through the season of summer or the afternoon when the day is at its warmest. Fire energy is yang energy at its ultimate peak. Again, to emphasize the elements' interplay amongst each other in a supportive cycle, our ideas birth in the water phase, then are set in motion and experience growth and momentum in the wood phase. And now it's time for the fire element to fully actualize them. Once fire has peaked, you can think of a volcano, it turns to ash. And from there, we start to see how the fire element transforms to the next, which is earth. And we'll definitely talk about that in the next episode. So, fire symbolizes expansion, bright light, burning heat. It has an expansive, upward, and outward energy. This energy is enthusiastic and laser focused. During this phase, in terms of a project or a deadline, for example, focus is key to avoid becoming unbalanced. A great visual for this is one I took from my feng shui instructor, Tisha Morris, is to imagine stray sparks popping and flying around at a campfire when the fire gets too big or too hot. This can be a clue that you need more focus and maybe just need to strive for a little bit more balance during this phase. This phase is a time for fullness and completion, and it's also related to the emotion of joy. So remember, whatever it is you are trying to accomplish, to do it with a sense of joy so you reap the fruits of your labor, if you will. You can think of this as biting into a perfectly ripe peach, okay? At the peak of the peach's life, when it's ripe, it tastes the best and it brings you joy when you bite into it. This is a good way to remember that when you're working hard and trying to maintain that focus, that it should also be done with a sense of joy. So, how can we utilize the energy of fire? Fire is represented by the color red for obvious reasons. Its shape is triangular, representing momentum and expansion at the base, then reaching its apex or highest point at the top. In feng shui, the area of life that is associated to the fire element is our fame and reputation. This is how others perceive us or how we want to be perceived. Extroverts are typically associated to the element of fire. So, if we want to embody that and be seen more or get the recognition we feel we deserve, we may want to incorporate more of the fire element into our spaces. And we do this in feng shui through the use of a tool called the Bagua map, which I'm certain we'll explore in future episodes. In your home, the stove or your fireplace are obvious representations of the fire element. The stove also represents your personal power, so keeping it clean and free of debris or free of messy thinking or unwanted perception is a great tip. But candles also, these can be flameless, is another way to introduce more of this element into your space. are windows. They let in the greatest source of all fire energy, which is the sun. But if your home doesn't get adequate light, you can still bring this in through the use of artificial lighting and lamps. Pets and children are also considered to be an aspect of the fire element because they are typically full of yang energy. If you don't have pets or children, you can do so symbolically by introducing leather, wool, or any other animal upholstery or fabrics if you choose. I personally do not prefer to use animal byproducts in my home or in my designs, but this can still be accomplished through the use of vegan alternatives. And lastly, as we've stated in previous episodes, bringing in artwork that represents the element through color, shape, seasons. So, sticking with the analogy of a volcano, all fires eventually burn out. And in nature, once the fire goes out, it creates ash, returning it to Mother Earth. And as we've stated, the five element cycle is a cycle of death and rebirth. So the transformation of fire into earth is represented in this cycle, as well as when we choose cremation, for example, and the life energy of our body is no longer needed. Earth energy is a time of completeness. It's a time of settled energy, a time when yin and yang are perfectly balanced. I look forward to sharing more with you in episode 5, the earth element. Your support of the Living Elemental podcast means so much to me. Thank you all for listening and following along. This outlet is becoming one of the best things I've ever done, and I want to continue to support you at home. So, in celebration of our launch, I am doing a giveaway for 3 lucky winners who will each receive a home energy kit. Inside these kits will be a few tools you can use to uplift the energy of your home or office, really anywhere you need some increased positive chi or energy. In order to be entered into the drawing, you just need to rate and review this podcast, take a screenshot and email it to our team at jsd@jadescottdesign.com, or you can just DM your screenshot at jadescottdesign on social. I will put all of those links in the show notes for you as well. We'll run this giveaway through the next few weeks, ending after the release of our bonus episodes, where we talk about each element and their attributes and how they all support one another. I thought doing these episodes would be a great reference for you as we expand into the elements going further. So please remember to rate and review. We will announce 3 winners the week of February 6th and hopefully get those to you right before Valentine's Day. So just a small token from us for sharing the love. All of this and more can be found on our website at jadescottdesign.com. Until next time, stay well.